What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're meeting with a woman that is absolutely obsessed with staying in shape. She legit walks over 100,000 steps per day, and you know, anything else just isn't cutting it for her. Could not be me. I mean, I'm probably putting in like 1,000 steps maybe a day, and I'm chilling off of that. Anyways, without further ado, let's just meet her and see if Dr. Phil can get her out of this crazy workout obsession that she has, because at this point, it's probably the opposite of healthy.
Glad to meet you.
Thank you.
Are you anxious sitting here because you'd rather be
Yes.
walking?
Yes.
It's like insanely frustrating to her right now to even be sitting here. Like, she'd rather be doing laps around Dr. Phil's stage, you know, with her Fitbit active, getting some steps in while he talks to her, because this is taking up precious walking time away from her. Think about 100,000 steps. Like, I feel like my mom with her Fitbit loves to have over 10,000 steps in a day. Like, that's a good achievement. I don't know. I'm not bougie enough for a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, so I don't really know the standards. But I'm guessing a good goal for the day is about, 10,000 like I was saying. And she's doing 10 times that every single day without pause. I'm wondering how much time that eats up in her daily schedule. Like, even if she's briskly walking, that still must take hours out of her day.
And did you walk and jog yesterday?
Yes.
How many steps?
About 62,000.
About 62,000.
So yesterday was a light day, you know. That's probably because she had to fly out to Burbank or wherever they filmed this show, and her travel time took away from her walking time. I'm just imagining her faking like she has to go to the bathroom over and over and like changing her mind, so she could pace back and forth down the plane's aisle and annoy everyone. Whatever you gotta do to get those gains though, am I right?
So what is going through your mind as you sit here right now?
I feel like I'm on the verge of a panic attack because I know that the calories that I ate this morning are just going straight to my thighs and stomach.
Oh, I mean, it's really amazing that she's obviously very health conscious, but she has let it progress to a state that is actually more unhealthy than not. I mean, she obsesses over every little calorie that she's putting into her body and eating, and just the time spent sitting here filming and not moving is too much for her. She claims that she's about to have a full-on panic attack possibly, just by thinking of all that fat that she is gaining from her calories. I bet she even had a really good nutritional breakfast today, because it's not like someone that's gonna devote 100,000 steps a day is not going to be nutritious too, you know, and be dieting and eating well. So I really do think that she overestimates just how fat she will get from her normal meals. She probably had like some fruit and whole grains or something. Also, did you see that little info box below her? I didn't realize this, but it said 100,000 steps is about 50 miles. This lady is walking an almost double marathon every single day when she wakes up. That is mind-blowing, dude. I watched this crazy documentary that I would highly recommend, I think it's on YouTube, about these monks that walk every day like this distance for years on end. And I mean, it just blows my mind that people can be so devoted and disciplined. I would fall off the workout wagon about 5 days in, and I don't even go that hard, I feel. Seriously, it's amazing, but also a little bit scary at the same time.
How long has this been going on?
This has been going on severely for about 2 years.
Dude, she just circles around her coffee table for some reason. Like, how many laps is she having to take around this room just to reach 10,000 steps, let alone 100K? That is just like the very edge of insanity here. You know, I don't like calling people crazy all the time, but also at the same time, she is pretty much crazy at this point. Like, nobody in their right mind goes this hard unless they're, you know, for some reason training for some super and ultra endurance triathlon. But even then, like, go walk outside. How does she not get dizzy making such small circles for hours on end?
She's always been obsessed with food, but the jogging, when I got her the Fitbit, that's when it really got severe.
This lady buying her daughter a Fitbit pretty much straight up ruined this woman's life by introducing that technology to her. I mean, she was already obsessive about her weight and eating right and, you know, all this health stuff. And now she has this device that tells her exactly how far and how well she's walked that day. And it probably just progressively got worse and worse until she got to the point where she thought she needs to walk 50 miles every single day.
So you get up at 3:30 in the morning because you got a lot to do. And you jog, and you do this till like 7 a.m.
Okay, starting things off with her schedule, this just sounds absolutely miserable. This is like those military bros that are on YouTube and swear that you need to wake up at 4 a.m. every single day. And I mean, she's taking their suggestions and just amping it up a bit by waking up at 3:30 a.m. every single day and jogging for 3.5 hours. Doing a jog that long would be terribly difficult for most people anyways, but now she's stepping it up by starting that literally in the middle of the night. My dad starts his days this early for work too, and I mean, I just don't get how people can keep that schedule, dude. At 3 a.m., I'm still looking at memes or TikToks. You know, now that I think about it, ever since my best friend slash roommate moved out into the hype house, true story, I've been really addicted to TikTok. You know, it's like this bad cringe that I just can't get away from, but I digress. Back into this crazy fitness routine.
Then you take a bathroom break. You wish you didn't have to do that, right? You said you'd rather have a catheter, or
Yeah.
you could wear Depends or something.
She is so down for this walking that she's humoring the idea of wearing adult diapers just so that she doesn't lose precious workout time using the bathroom. Everyone's laughing, but low-key, it would be hilarious if she never thought of that up until this very point and Dr. Phil just planted that seed in her brain. Watch, now when she gets back home, if he can't get through to her and she keeps walking, she's just gonna be buying adult diapers in bulk from Costco for her morning workouts.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
About 6:30, sometimes 7.
Okay, and then you're back up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously, for about 14 hours out of the day, this woman is doing constant light cardio. That is utter insanity, dude. And she has it down to a science. Look, her meals are all so tiny so that she can not waste too much time eating or, be bogged down. Or maybe she just eats while walking, who knows. But, maybe that helps her feel like she's not absorbing as much calories. All that I know is that this sounds incredibly miserable. Like, this would be my absolute worst nightmare, having to relive this cycle that she does every single day on a loop.
Because I'm in so much pain from the jogging, I just try to do anything I can to take my mind off of it.
This is sad, dude. I figured nobody would be able to withstand that much activity. Like, no matter who you are, even the most in-shape people in the world would be probably doing more harm than good by jogging over 50 miles every single day. Like, that is just something that people train for months just to do once, and she's doing that every time she wakes up at the ungodly hour of 3:30 a.m., all while eating tiny little meals. Like, literally, it said earlier, one of her meals is just a single English muffin. That's like the side to my breakfast dishes, bruh. I don't even count that as being part of the meal unless it has some cheese, egg, and ham in between it. Seriously, I mean, maybe that's why I'm borderline obese and she's in incredible shape, but look, at least I spend my time a bit better throughout the day and, can go out and do things without feeling guilty about needing to jog for another 10 hours that day.
So guys, real quick, I have a super fast challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works.
You're jogging because of the pain,
Yeah, that's how it started.
but the jogging is causing pain.
Yes.
Well, that makes absolutely no sense, but I think sense is out the window at this point, to be honest. It's clear this is a mental thing, and this lady is probably doing this as a form of calming her anxiety. I mean, she mentioned in the beginning that she has anxiety. If you remember, she was getting super anxious and almost having a panic attack by not being able to jog right now and having to film this show for an hour. So maybe if she sits around for too long, she gets this guilty, anxious feeling that she could be doing more and it just has to jog to pass the time. I'm sure if she had the choice, she would probably much rather stop doing this altogether, but at this point it's just so ingrained into her brain and her schedule that she wouldn't know how to pass the time. And after doing this for a couple of years, it's probably very, very difficult to stop. I just hope Dr. Phil can offer her some more help on this. So it turns out, unfortunately, this woman has had some very, very traumatic experiences in her life, especially at a young age too, and she didn't really get the therapy that she needed at the time to help sort through that. And in Dr. Phil's professional opinion, that is probably the main thing that's feeding into this obsession with jogging so much. She's probably suffering from some form of PTSD, like he was saying, and she would suffer from a very low self-esteem as a result. So this would explain why she is so obsessive over her looks and physique. Everyone would look at her and be like, oh wow, she's in shape, she's good looking, she's fine, but for her, she's just thinking of all those pounds that her fruit she ate that morning is putting onto her body and how she needs to put in another 100,000 steps just to look beautiful. It's also why she thinks just sitting for a few minutes to film this show is causing her to gain so much weight. Like, she is obviously very obsessed with her image because her brain tells her that she's never going to be good enough. But that is very good that someone with a professional, informed opinion like Dr. Phil is able to patch her story together and explain to her in layman's terms why she has been like this and what she needs to do to fix it.
You're clearly being enabled. Your mother is enabling you, your husband is enabling you.
So Dr. Phil is explaining to her here that she is basically using this as a way of coping with former trauma in her life, like I said earlier, and that she is also allowing herself to be enabled into this behavior by her close ones, her mother who is on stage with her and her husband who is back home. Both just support her through it and don't try to get her to stop, even though they probably realize it's doing some detrimental things to her health. But if she doesn't stop, she will have some more very serious health effects down the road, or even soon. She's been doing it for a while now and it's done a lot of damage. She claims that she walks to get away from her body pain and help soothe it, but it turns out the sole reason that she has pain in her body and joints is because of her walking so much throughout the day. Seriously, I'll say it again, no matter who you are, you cannot be walking 50,000 laps around your coffee table every day day, alright? That's just not healthy or sustainable. It's awesome if you want to work out, but don't be doing it for 13 hours a day. That is just too much. So hopefully Dr. Phil's words of advice and way of explaining her whole situation to her simply will help her realize what she's doing is really not healthy and probably doing much more harm than good. And she could take this information back home with her, hopefully, and maybe get some more counseling as well as slow down on her exercise. You know, I doubt she's ever going to completely stop, but you know, maybe just 10 miles a day would be lit instead of 50. Who knows? She'd probably be in a lot less pain too. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your opinions on this story down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.